Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. All right. Something very interesting happened post Canelo Smith fight, and you saw the post commentary between Chris Mannix and Demetrius Andrade, and basically they was just talking about Canelo and pound for pound, and basically Chris Mannix, of course, he tries to pull Canelo as number one because I'm white and I say so. And Demetrius Andrade held his own by saying it's interchangeable. With some other guys up there. So he tries to say, well, Canelo did this, Canelo did that. Canelo has done some great things, but let's just face the fact. The same way other people didn't fight everybody, Canelo has not fought the best guys out there. Okay, keep in mind, yeah, he fought Triple G twice, but Triple G had a life and death fight with Daniel Jacobs, and then we all know that Triple G ducked any fighter that was halfway decent. And Triple G made his way to the top fighting mediocre competition. We all know that Triple G was known for fighting your local mailman, your local Foot Locker worker, and your local truck driver. And he got elevated due to what he looked like by fake media, fake boxing writers. And that's just the bottom line, and people need to keep it 100. This is a man that refused to fight Andre Ward after saying that he would fight Andre Ward. He would go up to 168. Now, keep in mind, he said that when Andre Ward was going through his issues with, Dan Goossum and, Andre Ward had injuries and stuff. So, at the end of the day, Triple G was capping. He was the original capper. But when you get to Canelo, yes, Canelo is a pound for pound fighter. If you think Canelo is number one, I've said this on several occasions. It's interchangeable with Canelo, Errol Spence, and Terrence Crawford. But Chris Mannix, when Demetrius Andrade was making his point about, it's interchangeable. That's pretty much what we were saying. He has the audacity to say, well, Canelo and Lomachenko? Excuse me? He lucky I ain't arguing Lomachenko. He lucky I wasn't up there arguing because I would have embarrassed Chris. I would have said, excuse me, who did Lomachenko fight and beat? Lomachenko was never pound for pound number one. He was elevated because of his skin color. Keep in mind, Lomachenko, once again, everybody knows that Lomachenko lost to a dude with double-digit losses, so please stop it. Okay, stop it. Lomachenko was never pound for pound number one. Now, it appears Chris Mannix seemed to have something against Bud. I don't know what it is, but I don't give a damn. Like I said, if you think Bud is number one, so be it. You think Errol Spence is number one, so be it. You think Canelo is number one, so be it. You ain't going to get an argument out of me about out of those three who you think should be number one. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just keeping it 100. I'm keeping it a solid. But at the end of the day, let's not make it look like Canelo fought like all the best guys out there. For real. Like dude said, he fought a past his prime Cotto. You know what I'm saying? He fought a past his prime Sugar Shane Mosley. At the end of the day, fought a past his prime Sergey Kovalov in a fight that many people believe was fixed. So let's just keep it a buck. He did not fight the best guys out there. He fought solid competition. Remember, he had a life and death fight with Austin Trout. A lot of people believe Austin Trout did enough to win that fight. Then also as well, he had a life and death fight with Lara. Most people thought Lara won that fight. So, and he fought Daniel Jacobs. Maybe Daniel Jacobs was rated a little bit higher than we all rated him. Because based off Daniel Jacobs' performance in his last fight, maybe we had Daniel Jacobs rated higher than what he deserved to be. Yeah, he had an impressive first round knockout against Peter Quillen, but at the same time, it is what it is. Sometimes people get up for one fight, and then afterwards, they just go down. And Daniel Jacobs just hasn't been impressive in his last few fights. We need to tell the truth. And Daniel Jacobs versus Demetrius Andrade, even though Daniel Jacobs is at 168 now, you would favor to meet anybody at 168 over Daniel Jacobs. He fights Demetrius Andrade, you favor Demetrius Andrade. He fights Charlo, you favor Charlo. You know, Benavidez, you favor Benavidez. Caleb Plant, you favor Caleb Plant. It is what it is. But getting back to Canelo and Chris Mannix, like I said, you can kind of see the, you can see the white supremacist fumes, in the air with Chris Mannix. I can read guys like Chris Mannix a mile away. He is who he is, and. But at the end of the day, for him to try to say that Demetrius Andrade is wrong and he right, come on, man, he don't box. You don't get to tell somebody, well, he's number one because you say so. It's debatable. But, it was an interesting argument. Chris Mannix made his points. Demetrius Andrade made his points. Like I said, I would be lying if I said Canelo wasn't a very good fighter. Yeah, he is. Very talented fighter. But there's still some names missing from his resume that can make him a all-time great. If this dude fights Caleb Plant, David Benavidez, Jamal Charlo, and maybe even Jamel Charlo, beats them all, and then he goes up to 175 and he beats somebody like Arthur Beterbiev, then at the end of the day, Canelo going at all-time great. You know what I'm saying? You start putting him in your top 10, your top 20, maybe if he pulls that off, beats all those dudes. So I'm just saying. But he got a long way to go. If Canelo retired today, is he a Hall of Fame fighter? Absolutely. Absolutely. But is he an all-time great? Because like I said, to me, I still have Ricardo Lopez as the greatest Mexican fighter that ever lived. Because nobody beat him. Nobody beat Ricardo Lopez. Nobody. So, just want to put that out there. Here go the thing. As a side note, based off the fact the only loss Canelo had is Floyd Mayweather, once again, that makes Floyd Mayweather look even better as an all-time great. While y'all always sitting up here, like I said, I have issues with Floyd the person, but Floyd the fighter, once again, you can't dispute that. You can make every excuse in the book about Canelo's loss to Floyd Mayweather. But this just goes to show you how good Floyd Mayweather is. And Canelo has since went on to become arguably the best fighter in the world since losing to Floyd. So what does that say about Floyd? When you say Floyd didn't fight the best people, there you have it. Side note, bars. You know what I'm saying? This your boy Town Biz. I'm out.